Hello, Diva. So,
Hey.
how was I sitting? Yes, so I think this is the first visual episode of Spot the L project, which is financed and supported by the European Commission and ELC, meaning Euro Central Asian Lesbian Network Community. Community. We love communities. And one of the first stories that happened to be captured is the story of Andriana. So we will see how this goes. It will be very authentic, as it is, and I will not keep it longer to let them speak for themselves. Welcome. We're today in Riga after a quite intense training program actually. And thank you for kindly accepting the invitation to let your story be heard. As we've talked, you also identify as a part of the lesbian community. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I might have some questions here and there about your story. But mainly what we want to do with this project is literally what we say in the title, to highlight the stories of the letter L within our queer alphabet, so to say. And when I got to know you, and I got to know some bits and pieces of your story, I think that's every story is worth listening. But if I get to pick, so to say, I would, or we would really want to share your story to more people. Who are you?
Thank you. I'm Adriana. Sometimes people call me EROS. Pronouns any all. And who am I? I am many things. And all kinds of people get little bits and bits by me. But who I think I am myself is a proud lesbian.
We love our lesbians.
A very, very proud lesbian that I am very happy to acknowledge my identity, to feel proud in it, and to live life as a strong butch that I think I know actually I am.
I like this first question, like, who are you? Right? And then it's like, when do you go from there?
Yeah.
What is your history? What is your journey with? Because of course we're being born as humans, and I think we as children, we don't jump necessarily right away into like, oh, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I identify like this or I identify like that. We see some bits and pieces that we like, that seem fun, and everything, and then I think the journey of how the personality is made, how the character is made, how you're becoming a human, so to say, it's, I think, a lifelong process, no? How was it? What was the chapter in your story about that? Was it like, are you one of the people who are like, I knew it from the very beginning? Or was it gradual? How did you come to the term?
How did I come to this term? Well, growing up and being born, I was always perceived by my own family as a little boy. But there was always this contradiction of a boy but a wannabe girl, which it has been very confusing growing up, because of course I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be part of the group, of the school, to not stand out for what I am and who I am. And I've been and changed my skin so many times before I said that's enough. I don't want to change my skin anymore. This is who I am, this is who I want to be. And that was when I broke out of my bubble. Felt very strong to make the first step out of my comfort zone. Went through the Erasmus, and that's when I realized, hey, there is so many possibilities out there. Let's find out who I am. And that was one first step, but not as a lesbian, because that was scary. First, I touched the waters of a bisexual, because of course I've been with so many men until hoping I would find the one. Never did, or yet, you never know. But then I fell in love with a woman, and that's when it felt very different. I was still very ashamed to call myself a lesbian though, because that was a very hateful adjective, is it an adjective? From my parents, from my family, from my friends. So that was shameful to call myself like that. And I continued to call myself bisexual, I guess, because that was like easier to say. Until one day I moved to Berlin and I started feeling even more comfortable into who I was becoming, myself. And I went to my very first Pride at the age of 21 with my partner.
In Berlin?
In Berlin. Never went to Greece because I was too scared. And that was the moment where it was so intense. Felt like finally I belong. Finally I can be free. And I had people around me that cherished and celebrated myself. And funnily enough, there was this after party for Pride, where this was like this so-called Magic Dyke. And I had no idea what that is. I just went to the after Pride party. It was actually after Dyke March, actually. And we went there, then suddenly there's this show, and I'm like, okay, let's go watch the show. But I was sitting very far away from it because I didn't know what that was. And then suddenly the founders of Magic Dyke, Daddy Dyke and Ryder, starts opening the show with the manifesto on what are they, who are they, what they do, and how being a lesbian, how being a butch, how being a fat person, how being whatever you are is fucking sexy. And then throughout the show, I was feeling so many emotions. Like, yeah, it was very sensual and but I did not pay attention to that. I paid attention to how comfortable I felt in my body at that moment. And then I kept thinking about that one show I had experienced that night.
As a spectator?
As a spectator. And I kept following them around to every event. I got more comfortable to get closer and closer to the stage. I was very lucky to get picked once by them to get a lap dance on stage.
Okay.
And long story short, they had this workshop recently, the Dyke High, where I was very scared to apply. But I was always imagining myself after every event, how it would be if I was out there. And my partner and friends insisted.
We have a
Dog.
live
Birds and dogs.
background, yes.
My family, no. Chosen family, yes. And my partner and friends insisted that I should apply. There's nothing to lose. I did. I got selected. And I went there super scared, shy, and I was so closed the first time I arrived there. But it didn't last long because it felt like a safer space. A space where was provided that I could explore actually what's deep inside me. Because I was starting to find my outfits or what type of clothes I feel comfortable wearing or whatsoever. but I was still super uncomfortable in my body. It was gender dysphoria, it was me being fat, me having disability. And during that workshop, they made me feel comfortable in the way that this is what I have, this is who I can be, what can I do about it, and how. And I got so much euphoria that I looked at myself in the mirror after the third workshop. I started moving in front of the mirror like they had shown us, and I was like, I like this. I like me. I'm hot, I'm sexy. No matter what society thinks, no matter what people around me say, I'm confident in what I have, and I will fucking share it. Sorry for the vulgarity.
We maybe will beep it.
And then there was a little graduation time.
Graduation, huh?
After the Dyke High. And the celebration I got from people that were present, celebrating and cheering for me, for who I presented to be, who it was actually myself, for my body, for my being, for my presence. It felt so euphoric that this new identity of EROS came up.
Yeah.
This new gender identity of being more close to a non-binary lesbian. And the whole confidence of, yeah, I'm a lesbian, I'm proud to be called a lesbian, I'm a butch, I'm fucking sexy. I should stop saying fucking.
It's okay. It's okay.
I am sexy, and that energy from now it has started to shown to people. And I have heard so many times they wish they had my confidence. But if they would know that this confidence was not there for so long, it was suppressed inside my soul so much until it came out. And the little kiddo that I see in pictures looking like a little boy, and the whole journey of going through a very femme era, or being a person that I wouldn't recognize in pictures. But now I see myself in the selfies I would take just because I'm like, oh, this lighting is good and my hair looks fun.
Yeah.
To the little kiddo, it's the same. That little boy that I feel like I am right now, that little boy in the picture then, a soft lover boy as the people would call me.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
There's a boat. Maybe we will capture it in a moment. I love how you said that, or I want to actually call you out on you said that you didn't have that confidence. But then in the next sentence you actually said that it was so deep inside you. So in a way, it actually was there. It's just the question of how do we help ourselves to let it come out, so to say. And
I'm sorry.
yeah, your story with Magic Dyke, and we also talked about it previously, about the representation. Like, did you have any people you were looking up to when you were growing up, or was the Magic Dyke that finally made sense, where you saw yourself, or was it like that? Was it that you saw yourself there, or was it more like something else that you clicked with, vibed with, and so on? Oh, come on. Well,
That's a
continue.
toxic masculinity.
Yes, these are, yeah. Anyways.
I always tried to look up to people and idols, famous people, celebrities, but I never vibed with this idea. And because like growing up, everyone was like so obsessed with people, like fans and everything, but I could never see someone that I would relate to. And when I went to Magic Dyke, I think when I saw Daddy Dyke, from what I know at the moment, they're a strong butch, who seeing them on stage made me feel that I resemble, I connect, and I had never seen the representation as, not as good, I never seen this representation before. It was super new, because of course we all know, or like most people know, Magic Dyke movie, how there's this cis hetero men with abs and great moves, but not fat bodies, not able bodies, and people of color and people of all kinds of gender identities. There was no diversity or intersectionality, and then suddenly in one stage there was a lot. It's like, wow, what is that? I want to be it.
I also like the perspective that you have brought, because many have this thinking of that, okay, like strip dance or like sensual dance, it's, you know, only for pleasure, the pleasure for the one who is receiving it, the one who is watching it, and so on. But what I hear in your story is that it goes far, far beyond of things, how we perceive them, and maybe you would want to tell a little bit more of both your experience and maybe through experience of Magic Dyke, how it also comes together with, because I've been to one of the, actually two, of the Magic Dyke shows. What message is it also sending about sex work?
And consent.
And consent and intersectionality within that.
They represent the whole concept of consent in such a beautiful way, in a way that you wouldn't imagine at the stripped show, at the performance. You will get such a lecture of consent and make it so simple that everyone would understand with two simple gestures how to say yes, no, and to understand your boundaries. But also like the whole story behind there is a lap dancer and the lap dancee, and we got taught during the workshop that you first know your boundaries, or where you feel comfortable being touched, what feels good and euphoric to you, what's masculinity for you, because we try to show the masculinity side deep inside us. And then also thinking of the boundaries that the lap dancee would set, taking them into consideration, and actually just enjoying the moment together in a very cute and safe and sexy way. That I get lots of pleasure from dancing for people, and I think also the people that receive the dance feel comfortable enough to also embrace their sensuality and enjoy that moment.
But coming back to your own story, what do you think is missing in the world for the visibility of the lesbian community, for the stories to be heard? Because why also we came up with this project is that actually when you start to think about it, at least in my understanding and in my experience, it's that because I identify as a lesbian, that we are so much taken over the idea that we want to speak and work and make lives better for the whole queer community, that we somehow feel very shy, at least me, to claim the space specifically for the L. How do you feel about it?
It's very true that there is not enough representation. There is very limited space, and that, in my opinion, is mostly because we live in a very patriarchal world. That even in the queer community, I feel that cis gay men take a lot of space. And it's time for us to step in and claim our space. man spread, woman spread, say, this is me, this is my time, and I deserve to be here too. And it's all a journey. It's like, why there is no lesbian bar around my neighborhood? What can I do about it? Can I do something myself? Or can I find lots of other people that have the same idea that, oh, I wish there was a lesbian bar in the neighborhood? And then we start with a small people gathering, and maybe we get fans, and maybe we open a lesbian bar, who knows? Or we just slowly take space in the existing venues, and stronger together, because like as long as we are together, we can make things happen. I think it's time for all the lesbians to unite and claim their space. Enjoy their time and pleasure activism, and
Absolutely.
we need to be loud, we need to be out there, we need to stop hiding, and we need to feel comfortable to be called a lesbian, to be called a dyke, and stop thinking, break the stigma. The stigma that we grew up in so many years, since very long time, and yeah.
Do you have a dream?
I have lots of dreams. Lots of dreams. And an
Do you have
ideal...
a lesbian dream? The one that you can talk about, actually.
Lesbian dream. Is it too stereotypical to say that I imagine myself having a little cottage house in Lesbos, Eresos, with all my polycule around, and just being surrounded by beautiful human beings, and stop worrying about the world and just enjoy our time? That would be one dream. One dream is to, for once, breathe, love myself, and allow myself to be loved for who I am, and who I am very proud to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being a proud lesbian, as you say. Thank you for being actually one of the first guests here. And I will also be a cliche person and say, may your dreams come true. May our dreams come true. Because we're here, we're queer but also lesbian. We do have dreams, we do have stories. Loud stories, inspiring stories, that we will be trying to catch as well and document, because there are too many lesbian stories that have gone lost in the history. But I do believe that they travel from a person to person, maybe from a great aunt or great grandma, like, oh, there was this grandma of a grandma of a grandma. Yeah, she used to live alone, but she had this friend. They were roommates.
And they were roommates.
And so thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Okay, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Caesar against patriarchy, was it DLC?
Caesaring against patriarchy, yes. And also, again, thank you to the European Commission. Thank you to the ELC for making it happen. Thank you. Bye.
Ciao. Ah, pacha, pachu. Ah, pacha, pachu. Ah, bara, bara.